Afternoon Delight, Saturday Afternoon Delight in the mag room with Mark and Jared.
All around the world you can hear them. Hey, hey, hey. Talking about news and kind of funny stuff. Hey, hey, hey. Mag room, mag room, the mag room, the mag room.
No guest this week.
I feel like we've been guest heavy for like the past 2 months. We had Aaron and my sister and Jay.
Yeah, we've been going, I don't know, every 3 episodes for a while.
I missed the old
spice it up.
episodes.
You make it a threesome when you spice it up. There's only so much you do as a twosome. It's one of the things we're going to talk about today.
Threesomes?
Well, sort of spicing things up.
I just got invited out to an Indian dinner on Monday night. You like Indian food?
I do. I only learned that in my older years because my family never went to it. But I like a lot of it. It's weird because I feel like if you don't know it, they don't sell it well. That it has yogurt in a lot of it. In your mind, if you don't try it, you think, why the hell do I want yogurt in my meat? Right? It just seems weird.
I guess so. I think when we lived in Charlotte, there might have been a place that Teresa and I used to go to, but I got into it a while ago. Everything's got a lot of flavor, despite the fact that some of it's vegetarian or whatever, it's very flavorful. Sometimes way too spicy. You have to kind of, like, different places will do different dishes. You might have, there's a thing that I like called Malay kofta. And if you get it at one place, it might be nice and mild and creamy, and it's like little vegetable meatballs, basically, in a tomato sauce. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's crazy spicy. Same thing with, like, their soups and stuff. So you have to feel it out a little bit, but I like Indian food.
Sounds like a villain in a movie, Malay kofta.
Malay kofta? Yeah.
If you write a movie, make that the villain. What else is going on with you? Anything?
I wanted to give you a high five or a congratulations. I thought you did a good job last week. I was reading some of the trades after we published our episode. Nice. And one of the reviews was that that was a knife-edge traverse between hilarious and train wreck. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just thought you did a good job leading. I don't know.
Was that like Vanity Fair or Variety?
I think it was
magazine?
Vanity Fair. It might have been Variety. No, you're right. It was Variety. Yeah, a writer named B. What's it say there?
Corcoran.
Yeah. No, I don't know, dude. That was that was an Emmy Award winning, a guy that got paid for the last, 50 years or something like that to be funny. And I thought you led it well. And
all right. Have you been reading the same book I've been reading?
What's the book you're reading, Jared?
About how to win friends and influence people.
Is that one of the things I'm supposed to compliment people more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you compliment.
That was genuine. That was a genuine compliment. I thought you did a great job, and I
figured it was so, because we have that sort of relationship where we don't have to like butter each other up.
Yeah.
I don't have to just be like, hey, Mark, you look wonderful today. That hat brings out the blue in your eyes.
Yeah. It matches my shorts too, but you can't see them.
No, I can't.
I don't think we were ever in that phase where we over complimented. I think our friendship's based on the fact that we just make fun of each other usually, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. I don't really want to talk about it a lot this week. I kind of want to tease it, the how to win friends. We're going to talk about later today some way to influence people. But I was looking at the Wikipedia page and there were a couple bullets. So this really could go either way. One said, Warren Buffett took the Dale Carnegie course, How to Win Friends and Influence People, when he was 20 years old, and to this day has the diploma in his office. So Warren Buffett, very successful person. And then the other one was
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Charles Manson used what he learned from the book in prison to manipulate women into killing on his behalf.
Both are...
they're both, I guess, if you want to quote, successful at what they were trying to do.
Yeah. I don't see the bad one there.
Yeah.
I say if we're either way, all right, so what are you reading the book? Is it a self-improvement thing for you, or is it is there a reason behind it, or is it for this podcast perhaps? Are you doing a little outside?
I'm in my 40s. I felt like the last couple of years I was getting a little more crankier. And when you're older, people don't give you as many benefits of the doubt as when you were young.
Yeah.
I just didn't. Well, also I didn't see people as much. When you don't see them, right? However you act resonates more, because if you see them often, you can. And so I don't know. I've always looked. People have always talked about it. I just thought it would be interesting to read it. There's some. I mean, there's good stuff in there. We'll talk about it next week. You want to talk about it next week? Most of the stuff so far is stuff you would know, like smile, compliment people.
It's an interesting concept to me to write a book about something like that, because if it works, it's just strange to me. It's like reading about how to, I don't know, changing your personality is just not something that seems like it would come through reading a book to me. But
no, it's hard for sure.
Yeah.
I think you can change your mindset a little bit. Like when you're talking to people, you could
try to empathize more with them than you normally would or something.
Yeah, think about what's important to them. Think about what they want to talk about.
How could I get this woman to kill for me? What could I say to make this woman want to kill for me?
Yeah. It said one of the ones is make the other person feel important. I read it at our dinner. Like I said, I've just read the first part, which is like these 7 ways. It's called 6 ways to make people like you. So those are the things, like, and listen, and so stuff.
Snacks.
I mean, I think when you
snacks on there.
Well, I think gifts, noticing.
Yeah.
One is that I'm terrible at, and that is remembering names, really bad. But I could do better, and especially in my classroom. I think if I focus on my classroom with my kids, I've gotten out of that rhythm. Just sometimes it brings you back a little bit. I think this isn't stuff. Ultimately, I'm still sarcastic and like to make fun of people and all that stuff.
Right.
But I think I can do better in my early interactions with people, with just like listening, talking about what they're being interested. I mean, there's things interesting that people talk about. And I think sometimes the one where you can change your mindset that really isn't your personality is if you're not confident. At times you feel like you have to impress the other person.
Yeah.
And by impressing, you feel like you have to talk.
Yeah.
Opposed to listen and just take in and ask questions about what they're doing. And then you leave and you're like, oh, they don't think anything of me. But really, they like that. So that's what I mean by mindset. I don't know if it's not going to change me into like, I'm not going to become whoever's good at this.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Seacrest. All the Ryans. Maybe I'll change my name to Ryan. There was a sad story this week. Well, I guess happy, sad. I don't know. Do you know who E. Bryant Crutchfield is?
The maker of Crutchfield audio equipment.
It's a good guess. He was actually a paper company executive who in the early 80s brought 3-ringed order to the chaos of millions of grade school backpacks with a plastic and cardboard
Trapper Keeper?
He called the Trapper Keeper. So he died at 85.
Oh.
But it made like
peace.
Yeah, I mean, you must have had Trapper Keeper, right?
Absolutely. I know I had a plain one that I put stickers on.
That's nice. Your own.
And
flair.
I got in a little bit of trouble. I think it was like first grade. I had a Ghostbusters sticker on it, and then I used to trace it, and then I'd write like, I ain't afraid of Jared, or whatever it was, and then I'd sell them to people. And I got in like, I think I kind of remember getting like a little bit of trouble because I wasn't supposed to be selling them or something.
Usually they frown on running businesses during school time.
Why?
It's supposed to be learning, I guess.
If I'm willing to
sell, what were you
it,
getting for one of those?
I had a pretty good racket run, and I think I did a quarter for 1, 50 cents for 2.
Yeah, math still lines up.
75 cents, 3, 5 for $1.
Oh, so you get the bonus.
Yeah.
And so would it be 5 of the same, or would you personalize
No.
5 different ones?
Personalized.
Do they tell you what the ghost says?
These were all one-offs. I would write anything. Yeah, I think I would personalize it to whatever you wanted. Every once in a while, someone would leave it up to my own artistic impression of how do I think you connect with this ghost right here? And yeah, but
I ain't afraid of no Jared. Would somebody do something like that?
Well, yeah, that was a pretty common one.
Think you could do it now out of your store?
Do people still like Ghostbusters?
Is that really the only one you have? You can't.
That was my opus. Yeah.
I see. It's come back. There was a movie recently. So.
Oh, it was an all-girl one.
No, and then there was another one.
Oh, really?
Paul Rudd. Yeah, I didn't see it. I think Bill Murray and those guys were in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't. I'd like to see it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe I should see that.
So yeah, I just thought that. I just remember that the Trapper Keeper, and you'd get one, and you'd pick. I think I had one with Pac-Man on it. It actually said in the article, eventually some schools banned them because the Velcro was distracting. Which is amazing how schools then had so much backbone, and now it's just they can't even make you do anything. If they're like no cell phones because it's distracting, parents would be like, what? Or they just bow to the parents. Then the parents are like, yeah, makes sense. It's distracting. Stop with your Trapper Keeper.
I can't hear you over the Velcro sound on my shoes.
I still remember when the first teacher, I think it was 5th grade, he had Velcro sneakers, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I think we did too. Wow.
I had a pair of, do you remember Ruse?
I do. I remember the name.
They were an Australian shoe company. I believe Walter Payton was their...
That makes sense.
Major...
superstar.
Celebrity endorser. And they had a Velcro. They Velcroed, and then on the side there was a little zipper, and you could put maybe 4 quarters in there.
Some of your Ghostbuster money. Anything else you got?
I had one other thing from last episode that I was gonna.
Oh, from the J episode?
Yes. You said that the guy who invented the Venn diagrams was probably not a rich man.
Yeah. What do you?
I don't know. I kind of think I didn't look up how much money he made, but he had a lot going on in his life, and it made me think he had. I'll read this to you.
Well, I'm sure he invented other things. He wasn't I'll come up with this diagram.
Yeah, but the diagrams would kicked him off.
I see.
John
what is
Venn,
his name?
John Venn.
Okay.
He was an English mathematician, logician, and philosopher, noted for introducing the Venn diagram, which is used in logic, set theory, probability, statistics, and computer science. In 1866, Venn published The Logic of Chance, a groundbreaking book which espoused the frequency theory of probability, arguing that probability should be determined by how often something is forecast to occur as opposed to quote-unquote educated assumptions.
Okay. So just don't. So the article could have been called "Just Don't Make Up."
So he began.
So you think because he wrote a book, he was big.
Well, and I don't know. There's a lot about where he went to school, and he became.
Where did he live?
England, Cambridge. Okay. He was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, and in 1884 he was awarded a SCD, Science Doctorate, by Cambridge. Here's the thing that made me think he might have had some dough.
Okay.
In 27, he's probably dead by then. Damn it. Well, anyway, in 2017,
he was probably dead in 2017.
Well, all right, well, let me go back.
150 years late.
Let me see a different one. He was commemorated at the University of Hull at the Venn building. He had a building named after him at the University of Hull. A stained glass window in a dining hall of Gonville and Caius College in Cambridge commemorates Venn's work. So he's got a stained glass window named after him. Venn Street in Clapham, London, which was the home of his grandfather, shows a Venn diagram on the street sign.
Oh, snappy.
So I'm thinking this guy's had a little bit of scratch.
Do you think the diagram means anything about the streets, or it's just it's one circle says street, one circle says places you've been, and then it overlaps and it says here. I'm gonna do a couple Sisk stories. Sisk stories. First one, so we did a lot of art stuff last week. This is from The Guardian. So I want you to be Judge Mark. We haven't had that character. Is Judge Mooga? Judge Mooga is a better title.
It makes me sound stupid.
It does?
Judge Mooga? Yeah.
Really?
Judges don't have nicknames.
Yeah, but it's like your last name.
Judge.
You're like
Edward P. Mooga.
Edward P. Mooga, yeah. Fine. Judge Mooga. All right. So this is an art lawsuit. So we had art last week with Mass Mocha, our big guest. This is contemporary art.
Read me the facts of the case, counselor.
Okay. It's a U.S. lawsuit. An Italian artist who attached a banana to a wall with duct tape entitled it Comedian, reportedly selling several versions for more than $100,000, is facing legal action over whether he copied another artist's work. Maurizio Catalan is accused of copyright infringement by Joe Morford from Glendale, California, who says Comedian is just like his own duct tape fruit, banana, and orange, which he made 2 decades earlier. On his Facebook page, Morford wrote, I did this in 2000, but some dude steals my junk and pimps it for $120K in 2019. Plagiarism? All right, so do you want any more?
I don't like the way that guy talks. The whole thing at the end about pimping. So I'm going to find him.
But so
I'm going to rule against him.
Do you want any more facts, or do you?
Nope.
That's it.
No, yeah, go for it. But I already know.
There's really one more. Like probably you'd want to know, like as a judge. Well, what would you ask? You're the judge now.
Who are the 2 people involved? What's the guy's name? Who's the guy?
Maurizio.
Okay, Maurizio.
Joe.
Maurizio. Have you ever seen Joe's work before?
Of course. Yes, I'm in the art world.
Did you? Oh, I didn't expect you to say yes. Did you copy it?
Of course not. I mean, maybe I was influenced by it. We both have a banana taped at an angle for sure on the wall, but Joe also taped an orange horizontally to another panel. So I felt like mine was different in that way. So you
do think the lack of an orange was...
It's a different piece of art.
I'm going to ask this question of both of you guys. Did you guys use real fruit? Like actual bananas?
So that's another great question. I actually have the facts.
I'm a judge. I get paid to ask questions.
The original tape banana was synthetic.
Okay.
And mine, so I'll be Joe. Joe, mine was synthetic, and Maurizio, his was real.
When you said you sell these for $100,000?
Yeah. Yep. Real bananas taped to the wall. It also comes with instructions on how to install and display a banana.
So do you sell the whole wall?
No, the materials and the instructions.
So if I buy this from you, I have to assemble the banana and the duct tape?
Yes.
Oh.
I send you duct tape, a banana, and instructions on how to do it.
And people pay $100,000 for this.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to kill you, but I also think the fact that you can get people to do this, that I don't know, more power to you. Am I talking to Fabrizio or Joe? Fabrizio, right?
Maurizio. He also smells nice. People call him Fabrizio.
I'm okay with it. I think it's ridiculous. I hate it. I would never spend that much money on a banana. But if you can convince people to do it and you're somehow influencing them artistically, then I say go for it. And if you're copying somebody else's work and that guy didn't do anything with his and you're making $100,000, then you're doing something right and he's doing something wrong. So I rule in favor of Fabrizio.
Judge Mooga has ruled. Oh, Emma's here. So I told Emma we were recording. She said she wanted to come up with something, so I told her if she did something quick, she could try it.
Well, I wanted to play 2 Truths and a Lie. Everyone know how to play this game?
You're going to tell me 3 things, and I have to guess which one is a lie.
Yes. So I'm going to tell you what about me. Dad, you can't say anything because you already know.
Okay, so this is for Mark. Well, I think it's just good. You do it for Mark. So this is Emma's 2 Truths and a Lie.
Number 1, I've had a close encounter with a shark. Number 2, I have my own cell phone. Number 3, I'm the only person in my family who went skiing last winter.
I'm going to say that you've never been attacked by a shark.
Okay, well, it said I had a close encounter with a shark. That is true.
Sounds suspicious to me.
Okay, I asked my mom if this counted, and she said yes. So
she even got a backup.
I did. So you can't argue with it now. So, but there was a shark. There was a shark in the water, and they made us get out. True, I don't have my own cell phone. You know why?
Because your dad's a butthole.
Yeah, that's the reason.
And what was the third one? Are you skiing? Are you a big skier?
No, I'm not very good at it, but we went skiing with our school. And
yeah, they had skiing at their school.
Okay.
which is cool. So they go for like half days, 4 days in the winter.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. You liked it, but you're not that good at it. That's a good thing. It's a good thing to like things that you're not good at.
So she'll be more highfalutin than I am.
You're spending your winters in Vale before you know it.
All right. Sisk story number 2. Sisk stories. Where were you on July 11th?
I was nowhere near that guy's house. I swear to God.
Were you in St. Lucie County by chance? A world record was broken there as 769 people plunged into the ocean wearing nothing but a smile. It broke its skinny dipping record by 338 people. They killed it. Yeah, how would you feel? How do you feel about being naked?
I'm not a huge public nudity guy.
So you would not have been part of this?
I don't think so.
Is there anything you would do naked in public?
Have you ever driven naked before? I know a guy that got arrested for driving naked.
That doesn't sound like that much fun.
No, and I don't understand.
I feel like my butt, then my seat would smell.
And depending on the type of seat you have, like if you have that fake, leather would suck. Yeah. I guess I've had sex in public places, kind of, but never when there were like people there. You know what I mean?
I see.
Like on a hiking trail or something.
What if it was something that you were just together with people sharing? Like everyone was there's nothing sexual about it.
Right. And I was kind of thinking like maybe I could get into that mindset, but I really don't think so. I think I'm too bashful about that type of thing.
So this was a story. The other story I had from The Guardian as well was about naked yoga. But this was at a conference this woman went to. It was naked yoga. She was at a conference intended for sex connoisseurs and sex professionals. So that's quite a conference already. So let me set the scene for you and then you can decide. The room was lit with twinkle lights, a pleasant reprieve from the harsh overhead fluorescence of the other conference sessions. So you're at a conference. This is one of the things to unwind.
Okay.
As the room filled with other participants, it immediately felt like a different kind of space than both my yoga studio at home and the rest of the conference. There were no tank tops with the Lululemon logo, no sexy jumpsuits or stiletto heels.
Hard cocks and round ass.
Not knowing anyone else at the conference, I sat cross-legged and silent. I found myself sweating. I was nervous. Am I going to take off my clothes in front of these people? All right, so the instructor introduced herself after a few minutes, and it was a robust white woman in her 50s with long gray hair and a soothing cadence in her voice, wearing a sage green linen top and loose matching pants. She explained to practice yoga naked meant to remove the constraints we impose on our bodies to better access the divine within us, and that we could go through the postures in whatever state of dress or undress that we felt like. She asked us to consider how our clothing felt on our bodies, and I became forcefully aware of the discomfort of my jeans. This lady wore jeans to the yoga thing, which is crazy.
Idiot.
She invited us to move a top layer of clothing, and I peeled them off. Yeah. After Mo poses and invitations to remove clothing, I stopped fretting about my state of undress.
Arch your back.
And started tuning into the instructor's prompts to bring awareness to both breath and body.
Let's move into downward dog now.
Eventually, I peeked beyond my mat and was surprised that everyone around me was naked or nearly so. I hadn't noticed people taking their clothes off. When we entered tree pose, I was able to fully take in the room.
And what's that mean? To take in the whole,
Yeah, she just said they were basically
like a gangbang?
A bunch of... They were just a bunch of old bodies, they said. I think if you're happy being nude and you don't care, no one cares about seeing you nude. Those are the Venn diagrams of those two circles are totally overlapping.
I think that's a perfect use of Venn diagram,
yes. Too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like yoga. Seems interesting. Maybe if you were in there and she was like, yeah, in the soothing Susaras voice.
Yeah, whip that cock out.
Just try. I don't think that's how she said it. That's all I got. So anything else? You said you had one more?
I don't know if you noticed that it's been hot lately.
Very hot here, yes.
Yeah, it's been hot here. And do you know what makes it hot outside?
The sun?
Right. So I printed up some fun facts about the sun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is this like fun? Like why? What makes them fun?
Well, I'll read a couple. I picked out about 5 or so. The sun accounts for 99.86% of the mass in the solar system. It has a mass of around 330,000 times that of Earth. It's 3/4 hydrogen, and most of its remaining mass is helium. The whole solar system, 99.86% of it is the sun. Did you know
Seems
that?
like a little bit of a humble brag by the sun.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Like, hey, I'm kind of the center of this thing, and
I'm more or less everything here.
yeah. Why do you guys even care that you're planets? Or maybe the sun has a little bit of a weight problem.
Over
That's
1 million Earths could fit inside of the sun. If you were to fill a hollow sun with spherical Earths, somewhere around 960,000 would fit inside. However, if you squished those Earths to ensure that there was no wasted space, then you could fit 1,300,000 Earths inside of the sun. I thought it was pretty cool that they told us.
The second stat seems weird, to squish them.
Right. So there was no wasted space. I thought it was like almost like a shipping logistics type of.
So as a mailroom guy, you enjoy that?
Yeah. But I was
you
gonna
ever
send
tell a person that, like, well, you could probably fit 3 of those in
If
there.
you
but
brought
we
in
squish them.
Yeah, they're usually walking out the door by this time, but I'll be like, if you brought in a box the size of the sun and filled it with Earths, but not the Earth as it is, if you liquefied the Earth and then poured it into that box.
I will say this: if you wrote that up nicely, put it on your counter, and then at the end wrote, so different amounts of things can fit in each box, depending on if you squish it in or not, as like a tip of the week in your mailroom, I bet people would enjoy it.
If you set those sweaters on fire and then once the ash,
with the ashes,
you can fit way more sweaters in there.
Ask me for an example with your item. Say that vase. Say I smashed that vase into little pieces.
The next one is, one day the sun will consume the Earth.
Okay.
That's the one I thought sounded like a threat.
It's not really a fun fact.
No, it's not fun at all. No,
that's kind of a bummer though. Does it give a timetable like anything?
Yeah. Here, wait, let's see. The sun is almost a perfect sphere, which doesn't happen much in nature apparently.
Oh, okay.
It takes 8 minutes for light to reach Earth from the sun. The sun is halfway through its life. At 4.5 billion years old, the sun has burned off around half of its hydrogen stores and has enough left to continue burning hydrogen for another 5 billion years. Currently, the sun is a yellow dwarf star. That's what.
So we'll probably f*** up Earth before that happens. Well, that was fun. I'll have another quiz next week. I found another one. So a little teaser for next week. Another quiz. Maybe we'll talk about if we won any friends with our compliments. And listening. We're going to do some listening and some complimenting. All right. Should I do the end?
Yes.
All right. Produced by Jonathan Venn. Theme song by Maggie Yellox. Email Mooga and Sisko at gmail.com. Always like getting emails. We have Instagram and Twitter now. The Magroom Pod. It's on both, so it's less confusing.
The Magroom Pod.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, give us a follow. And do I even say the end now? We're just going to use J's?
Oh, no, you keep doing it.
Really?
Yeah. I can put it, or I don't know. Yeah, it's our thing. I mean,
I don't know.
Do you want me to use his?
I feel like we should.
Really?
We had him say it. We should just use it every episode.
I kind of disagree.
Maybe when are we going to make a commercial at some point? Maybe if we make like
I say this is our how you get a t-shirt. You write in and tell us if you'd rather hear Jared say our catchphrase or Jay hear our catchphrase. I say Jared.
They're going to say Jay.
All right. Somebody write in. If you write in and do it, I will send you a t-shirt. Write in and say
Paul will definitely email us.
Yeah, but we already sent him a t-shirt though.
He said his son wants one.
Okay.
Do we need? I was saying with the guests, like we had this connection to Jay. Do we need to build a connection with whatever guest we're going to have next? I think for next week, you bring in some interesting things about someone that we might contact.
All right.
Unfair. Like you bring in one like Larry Hankin, who you emailed. Would have like this week we could have done him, but it's fine at this point. We'll talk about like bring in, I don't know, a few facts about him, some interesting things. We'll talk about him. And then at least if we get one of these people, it'll look like we planned it.
Okay.
People like compliments, remember? All right. Stick with the mag room, and everything else is cream cheese.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. The my groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
Room with the mag stick, and everything else will be cheese. Cream